Hello. Hello. Yes. Should we wait for? Yeah. Mm, okay. I think I'll start. Yeah. So my agenda is to demo group creation of Cell2 today. So we have reached the demoable state, even though all the fixes are not on master yet. But we have solutions to all the problems that we face for the blockers that we face for the demo. So I have fixed it in my local, and I have a branch for that. So I'm running that branch in my local today and showing you the demo. So before that, I think I'll go through the current state of where we are. So there is just one more table to be moved to cell local schema, which is the members table. The review is currently ongoing for that. And with that, we will finish all the tables that needs to be moved. And after that, it's just about fixing the problems that come up during the stage where we try to create a group. So my estimate is that there are 6 more issues like that, which happens when we try to create a group on Cell2. So I've listed them down. 3 of them are loose foreign key issues, which means that since we have moved tables across databases, uh, foreign keys need to be converted to loose foreign keys. So these 3 issues are straightforward because we have a script to generate a loose foreign key uh, migration, and once you undergo the migration, those problems are fixed. So there are 3 issues like that. 2 issues are cross joins because we cannot join between 2 different databases in our local GDK. So we also have solutions for that. Maybe I'll just go through it. So the first is the part where, so when you after you create a group, you are redirected to the group to show the group, and for that you need the roots table. And currently we join the roots table and the namespaces table to find the namespace with that root. But roots is a cluster-wide table, but namespaces is a cell local table, so you cannot join these two. Surprisingly, there is already an issue for that because the performance of the cross join itself is not really that great. So I am just taking up the same issue. Either database team will take it or we should take it. But anyway, the point is that we should avoid this cross join. Otherwise, we cannot navigate to a group on Cell2. So this is the first part. But to solve it on local currently, the approach that I've taken, I will share my screen. Yeah. So the approach that I've taken is to just uh, comment out these 2 lines so that the joins do not come into picture. And since we already have the root scope as root, it will just perform a query as described in the issue itself. So that fixes that problem. Then the second cross join issue is yeah, over here when you try to join across users and members, users is cluster-wide, members is a local, so you cannot join them. And I saw that the error happens in first owner. So I have fixed first owner in my local where, so this was the problem area. If you look at owners, has many owners is joining across members and users. So we cannot use it anymore. So I am just trying to figure out first owners from like getting all the owners and then get the first member record, and the first user of that member record will be the first owner. So it's a very small fix, and that solves that issue. And the third one is a small bug fix for which we also have a solution. So what happens is when you every time you log in, it was trying to create a new user namespace, which is not really needed. You need a user namespace only when you create a user. So the diff is here, if you can see. So we should create a new namespace for a user only when the user record itself is new. So that fixes that issue. So we have solutions for all, but the pain point here is checking the performance of the new approach and getting it past review. So yeah, so I will proceed to demo now. I have my GDK running with like 2 different GDKs for 2 different cells. Yeah. So this is the first cell as we usually do. And I'm going through the demo. Yeah. So GDK is running 2 cells. Yes. The root user will log into cell 1, which I am currently doing. Yeah. So I'm going to create a group here. Group cell 1. Yeah. I can navigate to the group on cell 1. So that, yeah, user will create a group in cell 1. Yeah, that works as expected. And in a new incognito window, I'm going to 3000 port 3001, which is where the second GDK is running. So this says that already logged in user can interact with cell 2. The already logged in part is not working yet. It might be a stretch goal for this milestone. But currently we are just logging in again on the second GDK. So we are able to log in. This used to error out before, so we have solved that. And on cell 2, we are trying to create a new group. Yeah, so this also works now. And now we can navigate to navigate to this page where you can see all the groups on cell 2. So cell 2 group is here. And I go back to cell 1. I go back to see the groups, and I can see cell 1 group here, but not cell 2 group. So there is physical separation. Yeah, so we are also covering step 6 and 7. So demo is done. That's it.
I have a question about I haven't written it in the document yet about like the why the user is not logged in on cell 2 when the user logs in cell 1. But when I try to do that locally, I try to configure the cell 2 Redis, the sessions Redis, to point to the Redis of to the sessions Redis of cell 1, but that did not solve the problem. So I'm wondering, like, what would be the because I remember we had this discussion, I think, with Tong, and Tong, you said like it's not about cookies, it's about the sessions Redis, but that didn't solve the problem for me. So I'm wondering, like, if there's something else, if that's something we want to solve, maybe not for the demo, not for 16.4, but I'm still curious, like, why this didn't help solve the problem?
This I guess relates to number 2, which is that I've added that issue as a blocker, but as Manoj says, it probably is a stretch. But that issue is scheduled for 16.4 as well. So I guess you're already working on it, Omar. Yeah.
I tried that for 5 minutes. I was curious. This is when I discovered the problem of user namespaces being created on cell 2. But that was for 10 minutes, and then I switched context. So
yeah, so I think maybe the people who knows Redis might be able to debug this a lot more. Like, I think we need to be able to find the user from the Redis. So I think the thing to try is to from the cell2 or GDK2's console, try and write the appropriate Redis code to try and see if you can get the user out.
okay.
Yeah, to test whether
sorry,
that works or not.
Which issue do you mean?
C number 2.
Okay.
Yeah, so Camille, we're trying to figure out why sharing the Redis sessions between GDK doesn't work. I don't know whether you successfully shared already sessions with GCK.
I did.
And that worked without any, you don't need to modify application code?
You need to have the same cookie encryption key. GDK may generate a new one per GDK.
Okay.
There is one file where it needs to be basically the same, because cookie like sessions are encrypted when stored in Redis.
Okay. Yeah, maybe that I will try it again then. Yeah.
Yeah, because my script when I set up I only updated DB key base, I think. Yeah. I need to check that one.
Let me check which one was. But it worked without any extra changes.
Cool. And another option will be to use GCK for the demo.
Okay, so I have the same GitLab secrets, sorry, config/secrets, YML. And that's pretty much that's it. This is the only file where we share secrets, from what I know. So check if you have the same config/secrets YML across two different GDKs. I would assume that GDK is generating one.
Yeah, okay. My GDK secondary script is only making the DB key base equal, but not the secret key base. So yeah. Try that, Omar, when you have
Yeah,
time.
okay. I will try today.
I mean, like in these files, so far I only see DB key base, but maybe there is something extra. I don't know.
There's also a secret key base.
There's secret key base, OTP, OpenID. I think secret key base is used for the base key to be used for generating various secrets. DB key base is to use to encrypt, to attribute encrypt. Pretty sure that we use DB key base for cookies. Anyway, this is what I had said, really, but maybe there is something else.
So are we fine for the demo then? Is that cell 2 shares the same sessions Redis with cell 1?
Sorry, I don't understand question. Sorry.
Like for the demo, because for the demo we want to like I mean for the issue in point 2 is that we want the login to be the user to be logged in cell 1 and cell 2 automatically. Are we fine for the purpose of the demo in 16.4 to just have cell 2 point to the share the same sessions radius with cell 1. So I like making the sessions radius cluster wide.
Yes, I think this is ultimately gonna be like our architecture. Some amount, like some data will be shared like a session, and database level secrets like a config/secrets, I think is also gonna be shared because there's no really way around that. Otherwise, you're gonna have data encrypted differently. So, like I think it's also like the purpose is like to identify as part of the demo what type of data needs to be shared to have this user session being shared. It has to be shared because routing will hit random cell in some cases. So like you should not have to re-log in onto another cell. That's kind of why it works as a cluster. There is some shared trust between cells. So yes, like ideally we should basically you would not have to re-log in. Interestingly, you can run many GitLabs under different ports, and as long as the hostname is the same, the cookies for that hostname will be shared across different ports.
Yeah, I didn't know that the cookies will be shared between localhost 3000 and localhost 3001. That's something I learned recently.
I learned that as well, to be honest, recently. But this is how it works. So as long as you use the same hostname, the cookies will be shared across different ports.
Okay. Cool. Because I unintentionally tried this, so I can also take over this issue, Tong, if because I already started the question, so I can assign the issue to myself.
If you want to.
Yeah.
If you want to. No one's assigned it, so yeah.
Yeah, now because we know the solution.
Actually, on the GTK, config secrets could be shared, Tong, because on the GCK, I run exactly from the same GitLab race folder. I don't have separate GitLab race folder at all. So every new cell that you run, you kind of run from all the same source, from the same files. So if you modify like a file, it gets modified on all cells automatically. So basically for me, in my case, everything is shared pretty much. Just what is different, like there is some YAML configs with ERB content that changes based on the env variable. So this is why it worked for me, because I'm sharing everything. I'm sharing fully config secrets and everything that is basically in the GitLab race folder with GCK.
Good to know. Yeah, we can't do that with GDK because in order to, I think run it needs the process to have a different folder. I mean, yeah, I think we can do that, but that's quite hacky. So yeah, let's see what the minimum we need to share is. Oh, it's good to find out anyway what we need to share this way via GDK. So
I think so. Config secret YML and Redis should be enough.
Yeah.
We have to share config secrets anyway.
Cool. Sorry, Manoj. I think we jumped ahead. Is there anything else from you?
No. So yeah. So like I was saying, so we have the solutions, but getting into an MR and checking performance of the new approach and getting it through review, that is the bottleneck now. But otherwise, we are ready for a demo.
Mano, is it about these cross join with roots?
Yeah, so there are two cross join issues which needs change in the code. We have the solutions, but we have to look at the performance of the new approach, like also the correctness of the new approach, because we have only tested this specific scenario. And there is also something that I discovered today morning. I put it on Slack because yeah, it's there on Slack. It's a lengthy conversation. So we might need to fix that as well, because we are expecting an error for a join, but we did not get the error. Rather, it was joining with the roots table in the cell local database itself, which is problematic because it will not surface the error as we expect it to.
I'm gonna look at the comment that you posted. I know I wrote a lot of the stuff, so I can probably debug that fairly well. It's happening there. I need to, if you could just post me config database YML in either of case where and like what you get.
Okay, yeah.
So I need config database YML and what you get and what you would expect. Then I can reproduce and debug that for you.
Jumping back to the cross join thing, I think potentially to make the code review easier, maybe consider using a feature flag.
Yeah, I was planning on that. Yes.
Good.
One of them is fairly straightforward. It should not be a problem, but the one with the roots is fairly complicated because it can affect other areas also. So that definitely needs a feature flag, if not the other also.
Sounds good. Okay. That's it.
Yeah, just one
That's it?
more question if you have time. Yeah, so there are loose foreign keys also to be changed, and I was wondering what usually, like, do we look at all the cases where we use like table dot foreign key name, and do we all like replace all those instances? How is it usually done? Because the associated record might be gone, but table dot foreign key ID, the value will remain in the table for quite a while, at least a minute. So I was wondering, like, should we look at all the instances and like figure out if it is problematic or is it safe to ignore?
Yeah, that is at least what I did for the other loose foreign key that I found. At least until I found out that all of that is dead code. So yeah,
Okay.
that's how I found out.
Yeah,
But
each case is different.
It's not
Yeah.
easy. Yeah, it's not easy
It's
to.
not easy. Yeah.
I don't know. What do others think?
Yes. All right. I think that's it from me.
I think recently with the foreign keys, we kind of got to the point that we trust the system. And I'm not sure like how at least would better validate if it's not causing the delayed removal, it's not causing issues. Kind of thinking about the case where it could be the problem. Like how we would test that. So what foreign keys you have to remove? Roots and namespaces, users and notification settings. I think the first one is non-issue, really, because of the relation. You're gonna remove namespace, so at least in the worst case, entry in roots we're gonna be stale. But we are doing cross-join, or like we're doing the second stage select of the namespace entry. User notification settings. So we remove users and we are left with notification settings, right? I would probably not care about this either, because
Yeah.
it's not frequent operation that we remove user first on github.com. Second, notification settings. So if you are maybe curious, you could check some workers related to firing notifications, because this would be the only ones probably failing if this is not removed. Omar, do you know how long it takes today to process foreign key, loose foreign keys on main database?
On the main database, it's fast. Like most of the time, it's like I mean, by fast, like you mean like it's every minute the job runs, and one for main and one for CI. And usually the main database is empty, but now the CI database is the one that's struggling a little bit.
It's not catching up, right?
Sorry, can you say it again?
So, like CI database is not catching up, but
Yeah, it's
but we don't have that problem here. It's only main.
yeah. I mean, if the yeah, I mean, if the source record that was deleted on main, then we don't have problem.
So man, I would probably only check like the behavior of the worker. What happens if you delete namespace, but you leave notification settings in there? It could be probably even like a manual test. If you are curious, you could probably do the same for the rules, but from my experience, how we handle the rules, like we just do cross-join very often, or like do second stage fetch of the record. I think we don't use rules as a source of truth just for getting IDs. We always go into actual namespace object.
Yes.
So I'm honestly don't see like this as a big red flag given frequency of these operations.
Yes.
And like what could go wrong.
Yeah, that was my thinking as well, because when you delete a user, you cannot go and access the UI or the API after that. So any problem, if any, will be in a worker which is already enqueued and you're trying to access the record there. So probably we should look only at workers. Thanks.
Awesome. I think we are almost at time. So thank you very much. Have a good day, everyone.